Here we are, guys. We have arrived in Nijkerk in the Netherlands, and today we are here for a very special visit. We are getting an inside look at Kubus Sports, a leading distributor and developer of sports and lifestyle products with a strong focus on water sports. This is also the home to the iconic Naish and Prolimit brands. And today I'm very grateful and excited to meet Reinier, who recently joined as CEO.
Reinier, nice to meet you.
Nice to finally meet you.
Yeah.
And today we will explore their HQ, their warehouse and their showroom, and we get to meet some of their key team members. Perhaps we're even gonna hang out with the legend himself, Robby Naish. So let's head inside.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, Ruben.
Reinier, nice to meet you.
Nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Welcome in Kubus Sports.
Thank you so much.
Our head office in Nijkerk. So yeah, let's do a quick tour maybe, and we can do some questions along the way and see how we go.
Take us along, thank you.
The moment you enter the building and look around the showroom, you can instantly feel that Kubus lives and breathes sports. From water sports to field hockey to snow activities. Pure passion, and we love it.
We basically have a whole nice year-round offer, from winter to summer sports to, and then of course the season for our field hockey starts sort of September.
Nice.
So yeah, here you see a whole corner. This is Prolimit.
Prolimit is all about creating gear that performs at a very high level. What sets Prolimit apart is their commitment to comfort, durability and freedom of movement. They partner with the world's leading wetsuit manufacturer Showroom to produce with the highest quality neoprene, which gives their wetsuit a boost in flexibility, insulation and long-lasting performance. With their R&D team being based in Cape Town, South Africa, of course the kitesurfing mecca, they work closely together with their athletes to test their products in all kinds of conditions. Prolimit have an awesome team of riders who are dedicated to test and push every piece to the max, ensuring it meets the demands of real conditions. That's why Prolimit is one of the top choices in our shop.
How long have you been kitesurfing?
Kitesurfing for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
About 20 years, yeah.
So we're on the same level then.
When it comes to kitesurfing, you've probably heard of the name Naish, one of the most legendary brands in the sport. Recently, Kubus Sports acquired the brand from the legend himself, Robby Naish. If you're into kitesurfing, foiling, stand-up paddling or windsurfing, you've probably heard of him. Let's take a moment to catch up with him and see how he's doing.
Today, I've got the honor to sit next to a true water sports legend. His impact on several sports has been immense. And nobody else than Robby Naish. Thank you so much for being here today, spending some time for us.
Good to be here, thanks.
And it will be very interesting to dive a little bit into your journey, into, of course, the evolution of Naish and the future of kitesurfing. I feel that you've got a lot of knowledge and wisdom to share with us. So.
You never know.
Exactly. So let's kick things off by just taking us back to the early days, how you got into water sports and how you actually got to pursue it professionally.
Phew. How much time you got?
Big question.
Like the 5-hour answer or the 30-second answer?
To watch the whole conversation, simply scan the QR code or scroll down to the description.
But I always felt I had a pretty good balance of, personal life, business, pleasure. My business was my pleasure. So I was really, really lucky that my job was something that I loved to do anyway, and I was somehow able to make a career out of it, and then the brand. And then eventually, it gets to the point where, again, your priorities change. And for me, I literally got to the point where I wasn't enjoying the business anymore. I love the sports, I love my team, but the stress of the business side of the business was becoming taxing. And I got to the point where it was unhealthy. Like the stress I was putting on myself just from the day to day was no good anymore. We were still successful. We were, always profitable. I loved what we were doing, but it was just becoming too much. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about, fame and fortune and being the biggest. It was just fun. But we grew to the point where it wasn't really fun anymore. And so that's where I took the opportunity to just kind of reevaluate the whole thing. And was able to make a deal with Kubus here in the Netherlands, which made sense because they were the biggest Naish distributor in the world, and basically sold them the operating companies where I own the trademarks and the brand that I've worked on my whole life, but they have the business prowess and enthusiasm for doing that. And so I think I've come to a pretty good place now, again, where I'm still involved with all the sports. I'm still working with the team, still having fun testing, riding, but no longer dealing with the day-to-day business side of the business. And so I'm back to having that position of just being able to be me, loving the sports, loving to ride. I can wake up in the morning and decide what I'm going to do based on what the trees are doing. Is there wind? Is there waves? And not have to plan. I'm back to being very spontaneous again. If I want to fly to Oahu and catch a swell, I fly to Oahu and catch a swell.
Nice.
So it's allowed me to become me again, and just be, I'm a board rider.
I can't thank you enough, Robby, and I hope to see you on the water very soon. Talking about kite surfing always gets me pumped to hit the water. Next up, my hometown of Noordwijk, where I'll be catching up with Naish riders Timo Boersma and Bas Mulder.
We got a local Grom here, Bas Mulder. So, Basti, are you excited for the session? What?
Yeah, it's good wind. I think we have around 30 knots or something, so
That's what we love.
looks nice.
And how old are you again?
I'm 16 years old.
And been kiting for?
4 years.
4 years. Sending it.
Yes.
Nice, that's awesome. And yeah, we got some Naish 2025 gear to shred on today. So I'm really curious, what it's gonna bring, how it's gonna feel. And of course, the legend, who you might know from Kota, some other massive big air competitions, Timo Boersma, of course. Yeah, I only rang you yesterday and I'm glad you could make some time. So welcome to Notorious Beach, our home spot. How do you like it?
The waves are looking pretty good today, so can't wait to try some kickers.
Let's shred these kites and boards. Let's send it.
Wow, what an incredible gear. I absolutely loved riding all these new products, and especially the Alula Psycho. It completely blew my mind. Let's hear from the people behind these top tier products. What does it take to become a designer or engineer in this field? I'll be talking with my buddy Ewan Jespen, who you might know from his incredible big air, freestyle and park kite surfing skills. He was recently promoted to head of kite design. We will also meet Noah Hoffman, the fresh talent behind Naish's kite bars. Let's get their insights.
You and Jasmine.
Cheers, mate. Good
What's
to see
up,
you.
brother? Thank you so much. How's Holland treating you so far?
Good. It's been hot.
Been hot.
I had to buy flip-flops.
Ooh, what? They're not standard in your bag?
No, not going to Holland usually.
Welcome, brother.
Thank you for having me. Yeah,
Nice.
excited.
So, I'm not that technical myself, so maybe you can explain me a little bit more about what you actually do here at Naish.
Yeah, for Naish, I focus mostly on the wings and the foils, and then a big project since I started was the kite bar. It's pretty much the most technical piece of kit that you have, and it needs to work every time. So it's been a big focus for me.
Yeah, I grew up in Scotland until I was 11, but I'd flown little trainer kite, like power kites, stunt kites as a kid, like little triangle stunt kites that you can do tricks and stuff with, and started kiting when I was like on the water when I was about 13, I think. We lived right at the beach in Melbourne, but yeah, just been kiting ever since. Pretty much did the pretty normal like progression through the sponsored riding, like local shop rider, then Naish Australia rider. So I've been on Naish since I was about 14.
Wow.
So long time now, I'm 30.
I've been in Naish now 2.5 years.
And how did you come about working for Naish?
Des Walsh was my dad's best friend. So growing up, I knew him. He taught me how to kiteboard and everything. And then when I graduated from school, he gave my dad a call and said Naish was looking for engineers. And I just graduated, was looking for a job. So slid into the position and worked out super good.
It's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Exactly, yeah, I got very lucky.
Of course, you already were a Naish, part of Naish since you were 14.
Yeah.
And now, 16 years later, you're sitting here and now you're the lead kite designer.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that transition and Yeah, have you always been into design?
Yes, I've always definitely been interested in it. I've always wanted to work in the industry. I did a little bit of university when I was younger, but you know, this is like my passion, and I feel I'm way more qualified from just being in the industry to work in the industry than if I had some sort of degree. And yeah,
You probably wouldn't have blended in like you did.
exactly. So I think it's just come from like a lot of kiting, a lot of experience, a lot of forcing myself into the R&D team a little bit and getting involved and getting experience. And yeah, a couple of years ago, I had kind of the opportunity to take things to the next level and really involve myself more in R&D and take over the kite design role, which I began working with our previous designer, learning the steps and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was a little difficult decision because I had to, of course, kind of give up on being a full-time pro kiter. I mean, it's great being a kite designer. I obviously kite a lot, but I don't get to, go spend 3 months in Brazil hanging out with the boys at the lagoon.
I'm sure you can make it work.
Yeah, a lot of testing to be
More
done.
testing. This prototype is shit.
Yeah, so that was a bit of I didn't really have so much of like a crisis of like giving it up, but it was kind of tough to like give that lifestyle up, especially I was 28. So it's not like I was, done or, still felt like I had more to give and more to learn and be a better kiter. But at the same time, it's like a lot of, I didn't want to have some sort of, situation where they don't want me anymore. And then I'm like, hey guys, do you maybe have a job for me? And I have no like qualification at that point, and I wanted to make the slow transition into it. Turns out you can't really slow transition into a job. It's like if you've got a job, it's a full-time job. It's like,
Into the deep.
Yeah. So I kind of went into the deep end, and it's been great though. I mean, it's great to have the R&D team that we have at Naish as well, so I can work and learn from the experience that we have with like Robby and Des, like just learning from them. I mean, Des is who I work closest with on the kite design. He's been at Naish since the beginning. He's been around through every model of Naish kite that's ever come out. Wow. So, I have a question about, have we done this before? What do you think of this? And he's like, scans his brain. He's like, in 2003, we tried that with this model and this is what happened. And so like, I mean, it's pretty incredible to have that knowledge.
Des Walsh. Welcome, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see
Nice
you
to be here.
Des Walsh has been a key player in shaping Naish's kiteboarding brand, pushing innovation in kites and kiteboards. He worked alongside Don Montague to bring out iconic models like the Naish Cult, known for its unique cut in the middle, and the Naish AR 3.5, which was actually my kite that I started out with. Let's hear from the legend himself.
Good to see you in the Netherlands.
Yeah,
Yeah. How many times have you been in the Netherlands?
this is the third time,
Third time.
Yeah.
Nice.
but it's only been like a couple days each time.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's enough,
yeah.
and then you can get back to the good weather.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell me a little bit more about your journey with Naish, because that started about 35 years ago already.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that come about?
I was a windsurfer growing up, and I worked as a summer job teaching windsurfing and stuff. And then my sister was living on Oahu, and I went to visit her after I got out of college, and then got there and just realized what a freaking amazing place it was. And so I stayed there, and I had a job, and then went by the Naish shop one day, and there's a help wanted sign, and like to me, like Naish was still like such an amazing thing. I'd never imagined they could actually like work at Naish.
Nice. Because how long was Naish already happening then?
Oh, yeah, they were huge then.
Yeah, already. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was big, like super well known.
And what was your job? Your first job?
I worked teaching windsurfing there, and then they had a retail store, they had a factory, and a couple of retail stores. So I worked at teaching windsurfing, renting windsurfing, a little bit of retail, and then started working in the factory too.
Nice. And then kiteboarding came about, and
Yeah.
How was your first?
Oh, it was really cool because at the time, like when kiteboarding started, it was kind of like the light wind alternative to windsurfing. It was kind of always like a light wind sport at the beginning because the stuff was so powerful and everything that, like Maui was like kind of too much wind for kiting with the equipment in the early days. So it's kind of being at the right spot at the right time.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
Talking with the design team was fantastic. Finally getting to know the faces behind the products. I can see that it's a very dynamic group, full of energy and led by experienced pros. Definitely a solid team. Now let's head back to Reinier, who will walk us through the main operational functions and take us behind the scenes at the warehouse.
And you'll see we run a very sort of automated digital warehouse. We have about 4,500 to 5,000 square meters across these two areas, with seating heights up to 40 meters, 14 meters. And it's fully automated, so all the machines are linked to the sizes, so they can pick quite quickly.
Wow.
And then
and this is where you started, right? In the warehouse.
this is where you start. No,
no, you had
not me.
You recently joined as CEO here at Kubus, coming from Nike.
Yeah. So if you think about, I just joined like 1.5 months ago, so it's all fresh and new. And I started my career a long time ago in consulting, like more company doctoring. Did that for about a decade, different companies. But you see many different companies inside, and I've learned about systems and tools and processes and people and leadership. So that's all take here. And then I joined Nike about 9 years ago. I've done like 5 different roles within Nike, from strategy to commercial roles, direct to consumer roles. So all that sort of luggage sets me up for the next stage, which just started, and taking Kubus Sports, Naish, Prolimit to the future.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're the man to do it, steering the ship in the right direction.
I hope so. Yeah, looking forward to it.
What an incredible warehouse and an amazing experience to see a company like Kubus in action. Big thanks to Bas and Timo for the opportunity to try out some of these amazing products and an epic session together. It's great to be able to put some faces to the names and witness firsthand how brands like Naish and Prolimit are managed. Great to see my buddy Ewan again, and to meet Noah, Des, and of course sit down with Robby, who's passing the torch of his life's work to the Kubus team. I can't think of a better approach. Thanks to Reinier for showing me around. It's definitely clear that Kubus, Naish and Prolimit are in great hands with him and the team. Thank you for watching, and let us know if you enjoy this kind of content and where you'd like to see us go next. Later!
Really into it, and he's like, oh, this is gonna be something. And I was like, I don't know, I'm never the first guy in.
Why do they always have to stop after stomping a trick?
Yeah.
Some ride out with speed, but it's very rare, no?
Yeah, that's true. Have fun. I mean, that's the main thing. Have fun, ride hard, ride safe, avoid injury, and then making smart decisions. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs, study in school.
You only tell me that now?
You know, yeah, sorry.